Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing good. We're going to be talking about the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, Wall Street as a whole right now. We are seeing absolute chaos in markets right now, and everybody is asking themselves right now, where is the bottom? Where are we at? Now, a lot of people may think, if you're new to this channel or you just came across it, why is this guy sort of grinning? It's because we knew about this, right? We knew that this was going to happen. As interest rates go up, pain starts. And I want to harken you back to, if that's even the right word, back to when I was talking about this in December, as the chairman of the board of the Federal Reserve, Mr. Jay Powell, came out and said, hey, we're going to start raising rates. We're going to start dealing with inflation. And we knew that they weren't going to do too little, too late. But regardless of the too little, too late, or if they just went high right away, the market was going to start to puke. All right. And what's really interesting, a lot of people have it reversed, because in December, when he started bringing that out, we saw the dollar start to rise in value. We saw markets start to go, oh yes, this is great. It's like almost like yes, finally, we're sick and tired of these low interest rates. Let's go higher. Only to have people like myself go, that's a bad thing, right? Because when debt costs more, okay, regardless if it's bank to bank debt, if it's your credit card debt, mortgage debt, all of this stuff, it costs more. That's less money you can spend in the economy, and things get really bad, right? So companies now are coming out with abysmal earnings. Guidance is just total crap right now, quite frankly. I mean, you can't get a good analyst to save your life right now. Every single, around every corner is a surprise. Like, we had no idea. Even the latest GDP numbers, it was a shocker that we're negative. It's like, no, it's not. This is super easy. So if you haven't checked for this channel, stick around. I might be able to shed some light. And really all it comes down to is logic. That's all we need, is logic. We don't need people with these masters and doctorates and all these degrees, and yet they've never owned a home, or they've never owned real estate, or bought stocks and private markets, or these people have no idea how the real world works, yet they tell us the future of the markets. All right. So do we foresee more short-term pain? I do foresee that. I see the next couple of weeks still being very, very horrible. I'm going to share a story with you and some numbers that are quite staggering. And I do believe that we are going to see more pain. Now, with that being said, do I see reversal? I do. And the sad thing is, and I'm going to say it now because I've said it before, but I'm going to keep saying it over the next few weeks so that it gets through everybody's head and they go, okay, I saw it on the Ninja channel. The Federal Reserve is going to do an about face. They are going to, at a certain point, I actually believe it's as soon as mid-June, they're going to say, we're going to stop raising rates. We believe we got ahead of it. Obviously the mortgage rates just skyrocketed, which means, real estate's going to be cooling down. Obviously, we saw other things, the market start to turn. The wealth effect is now no longer with us. People are starting to, they have a hangover from the markets and how fast they're coming down and how vicious. And so we want to stop that. We want to hold off right now, okay? And that's actually going to lead to, ironically, a flourishing of the stock market, along with, in my personal opinion, not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but I believe you're going to see gold and silver, mining stocks explode. You're going to almost see everything explode, right? Because the second the Fed turns the corner and says, you know what, we're going to hold off a month, you already know what's coming next. And if there's any slight murmurings in the market, if they keep selling off a little bit, they're going to go from raising to holding to lowering. And this is exactly what happened in the end, around Christmas of 2018 to the first quarter of 2019. It took less than one quarter from them to go from raising to holding to lowering. All right, guys, so we're going to share this story and we're going to talk about it. Let's do this. Right here at Yahoo News, I'm going to link it below. S&P suffers longest weekly losing streak in a decade, markets wrap. And we're just going to go over a few of the little points here. It says volatility continued to dominate financial markets, with stocks pushing lower. At the latest U.S. jobs data cemented expectations the Federal Reserve will remain on its rate hike path to combat stubbornly high inflation. I'm telling you right now, that is absolutely not going to happen. And again, you heard it here, hopefully first, all right? It says at the end of the week, marked by fickle trading, that's really poor choice of words, and I'm not even really good. I'm not a good linguist. if you don't know. Quick reversals and heightened anxiety. The S&P 500 failed to stay in the green and fell to its lowest level in about a year. The gauge posted its fifth straight weekly drop. That's massive. The longest losing streak since June of 2011. So the tech-heavy NASDAQ 100 underperformed. Treasury 10 years remained above 3%. And I'm going to be honest with you, I even said, too, they're going to pull back when they hit 3. They pulled back for a day or two, and then they're going to blow through it. And that they did. They're at, what, 3.16, I think, the last time I checked. And while the dollar rose, and again, remember, I want everybody to understand this, the dollar rose against a basket of other crappy currencies. Okay, I just want to make that very, very clear. The dollar this week or the last few weeks is just the best smelling turd in the punch bowl. Okay, let's, for lack of better terms, but actually I think it's the best term. That is what's going on. All right. Gasoline futures in New York settled at a record high. That is what's very scary. As gas, and especially diesel is what moves the country. Diesel is what runs the trucks that do all of the heavy lifting in this country. We are at record highs. Both gasoline and diesel prices are a psychological hindrance on the consumer. I want you to know that is something that really affects every single person. There is no hiding a gallon of gas. A gallon of gas is a gallon of gas. I guess unless you're like in Canada or Europe. Yes, I know I said Canada. I heard someone say it today, and I say it all the time on accident. Not an insult to everyone in Canada, but for some reason, that's how I say it. Just like we're all going to Illinois. All right, back to the actual news. So it says here, obviously, blah, 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 where our market's been in a roller coaster. Good job, Lindsay Bell. I'm sure you get paid a lot of money for saying things like that. Saying the obvious, right? It's like we're dealing with not even the weatherman. The weatherman at least tries to predict the future. Economists only look back in history and go, oh, yeah, we're in a recession. How do you know that? Oh, it's because we're losing money, like hemorrhage. Oh, yeah, the stock market's down. Well, we're hemorrhaging. We're in a recession because we've been hemorrhaging for longer than just last week. You know what I'm saying? Getting pretty bad. Point being is this, I'm going to link this story so that you guys can read the whole thing. The last thing you want to do is have the ninja read to you, because bedtime stories of the ninja are either nightmares inducing stories or I can't pronounce half the words. Look, guys, we are in a very serious situation. The markets are falling. We're seeing some impressive numbers. To see 5 or 6% in a day on the NASDAQ is a big number. I mean, that brings back memories of the dot-com crash. And I was actually an investor well before the dot-com crash in tech stocks. 3 years, as a matter of fact, before the crash started, I was investing in tech stocks. I saw the build up and I got out. I got out prior to that. I saw the build up to the housing bubble. I got out before that. This isn't bragging. It is, the truth is, most of your financial advisors or people on YouTube, all the YouTube, what do we want to call them today? YouTube doctorates, that's all we have, right? I gave myself mine. Mine's on a piece of cardboard somewhere around here. I can't find it. Point being is this, they haven't been investing before the Lehman Brothers crisis, and especially before the dot-com crisis. So they don't have the slides in the back of the memory that remind you of what it was like. What did it feel like? What were people saying? What were people doing? What were the headlines? I remember that like it was yesterday for both cycles. And I got out of most markets a couple of years ago. Ironically, sold my house in 2018 to buy crypto, and we're doing okay, right? But even crypto right now is susceptible to market crashes. We're seeing Bitcoin right now at 35 handle, and it's because it's so tied to the market because of the derivatives, the amount of derivatives and the leverage in those markets right now. Crazy. Now, am I saying that Bitcoin's going to crash with the markets? No. I believe that eventually most people will figure out what the blockchain is. It's truth machine, and decentralized blockchains are a needed thing in a world of lies. But I'm telling you right now, on the short term, there's going to be volatility. Do I believe Bitcoin's going to be worth a ton of money someday? Yes, I do. Do I believe gold and silver are going to be worth tons more US dollars than they are now in the future? Yes, I do. Many people call me crazy, but you know who really doesn't care if I'm crazy? My checkbook. I love that. Guys, remember, and I'm going to close on this. A lot of people around you might think you're crazy because you're saving for the future. You're storing up food because we're going into a famine around the world, and we're going into a food crisis this summer. That's not a joke. By the end of summer, you're going to see it. You're going to see riots in the streets. They might think you're crazy, but you know what? Who doesn't think you're crazy? Your net worth. Because as it goes up, because you are preparing for hard times, you're going to absolutely go and crush it. All right, guys, that being said, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's awesome. It's so easy. I think like magical pixie dust pops out of your phone too when you do it. I don't know, try it. And if it doesn't work and you don't like the video, just hit the thumbs down button twice. It makes sure I actually get special emails that said that person was pissed. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching the Economic Ninja. It's out.